Hello and welcome back to Factorio Tightening the Belt Megabase Guide. I'm Xterminator and thank you for joining me again. Today we are going to use some combat robots, go kill some biters, have some fun, kind of be a bit of a relaxing episode. I do want to cover a couple things I've done, but I did not sleep much at all last night and I have a ton of stuff going on, so my brain is really fried and sometimes you just want to kick back, relax, and kill some bugs. So I've upgraded some parts of the bus to red belt. There was one smelter that was still yellow belt. This one here, that down the middle, even though the outsides were red. So I've made him red belt. We have quite a few split offs here, but I've turned those to red splits as well. Part of the problem was that, like, on some of these, it was red belt, but the splitter was yellow, which will slow it down. And this comes over and feeds here. And a lot of this now is going towards the military stuff because we were having some serious issues with the turrets. Even now, only about half of them are working. The gears are kind of lackluster as well, but that is certainly better. And also, I put some red circuits in the network and some speed modules down here somewhere, here and over here, because I set up in the mall making some combat robots. So I've also researched as well some follower counts for them. In fact, we could probably knock out one more. We hopefully have enough packs with productivity. So this guy is going, and he just takes the piercing ammo, electronic circuits, and gears, which we have here, and I'm requesting in the piercing ammo, which remember we were already putting in the network for this. And did I not cap this? Oh, I did, okay. And we're not storing these because these are like very early tech. They're not going to do anything at this point for us. But these are going directly into these, which then require red circuits in addition, which we're requesting here. And then these are going here, and this is actually, I'm using this kind of as a pass-through because we want these in the network because we will want to use them, but I'm using this chest also as a pass-through to go into here because this guy requires this one. So that's going to go through there. I've set a limit on this, and then this goes into here. Now, this is not the correct ratio for these because this guy takes 4 of these. Even though it takes almost double the time. This takes 8 seconds, double would be 16, so we'll just say double the time, but it takes 4. So really we actually need like 2 of these guys going into here, which looking at this, we probably could do almost. In fact, I'm going to do a potentially not great setup. We're gonna do something a little wonky here. I mean, this mall was like not perfect anyways. So this is going to be 2 into here, and then this one requires 4, and this one is the same amount of time. So this one actually requires 4 of these. So this is now really held up. This one's held up by this, but for now it's probably okay. And I'm actually going to nab this so we can use some of these ourselves. 2 of these is not much, but remember that each one does spawn 5 destroyers. So even this would be 10 of them. And I just want to grab another one of these. And this follower count is going a bit slowly due to a lack of military packs. Seems to be the issue. Not surprising. Okay, so we have all that. And oh, I also wanted to grab some uranium ammo so we can test that out as well. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't know. I could get a tank. Actually, I have a tank. Well, yeah. So we're going to take out our laser defenses just because I want to test out the capsules and ammo themselves. And I think we're going to go this way because I would like to explore this way a bit more with our Exo. I think we may, well, I don't know. Let's see how fast we are in a tank with solid fuel. Actually, there's a belt right here of rocket fuel. Why don't we grab some of that? That's a good idea. Try not to kill these pipes. I like how you can pick stuff up like while driving over it. So we're going to switch that out. This is still, I think, using a solid fuel in here to do the rest of this bar, but it should switch to rocket fuel here shortly. Alright, so let's take out some of this stupid rocks. I hate these rocks. Let's put some destroyers in there. This can go back in our inventory. Okay, so where do we want to go? We could go this way. There's some more oil, and I see a base right there. So if we stick some of this piercing ammo in here, now normally, like I've mentioned, these big biters and stuff have a very high resistance to physical damage, which is what piercing ammo still does. However, it does a very high amount of it. Okay, rocket fuel just kicked in. You can see the speed acceleration. It does a very high amount, and then in the tank, I believe that's actually multiplied again. So even these, and how are we doing on damage? We have some bullet damage upgrades. We could actually grab another one, but even so, this is going to shred through pretty much anything aside from big biters, and it will still kill those fairly easily. I don't think it will just like obliterate them like everything else, but if you guys can get this, like, you're in good shape for a while. In fact, well, I want to use the tank to just demonstrate the damage bonus. I mean, look how fast even the big biter just evaporates from that. It's pretty ridiculous in the tank. That's some decent oil. So here's a bigger base. We can actually try this then without the tank and see how we fare. I do have some shields, and we'll leave the tank there to retreat to. But even so, I mean, you can see it is slower, so the tank, you can see the noticeable damage from the tank. But you can still see the damage it has on the bases. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's throw some of these guys out. So these distractors do what they say. If we throw them out here, you just click, they'll spawn in. Now had we done this, you can see the biters are attacking them. So they're actually just gonna kill the bases and everything. They're quite powerful. They are weak though, so I mean they're killing them quite quickly. So these guys are gonna stay with us for 120 seconds. Throw these out, you can see they're shooting little electricity beams, and they're doing decent damage. And again, this is only 10, this is only 2 capsules worth. And if we demonstrate here, you can actually kind of slingshot them in a bit like that. That was a pretty poor example, but there we go. This is gonna be a good one. So you can kind of just slingshot them in. But yeah, that's only 2 capsules worth. You know, when the follower count goes up pretty quickly, you know, each one, I believe, is 5. Oh, that's plus 10, plus 10. So this goes up really quick. You know, you can get to the point of where there's, 50, 100 of these guys following you. And even with just 10, you can see kind of what they do here. It's kind of like the laser defense, except not quite as good, I would say. Killing all the worms. They aren't getting a bit damage, but I mean, how much health do these guys have? It doesn't actually... Oh, max health 60. Yeah, so they're not particularly strong. Holy copper. Oh my god, that is a lot of copper. And there's some worms over there. We can test these guys out. There's only 4 left. Now wait till we get nukes. That's when it's going to be fun. And even more fun than that is going to be the nuclear artillery. Man, I cannot wait for that. So I'm going to retreat back here for a second. And we're going to go get our tank, plow in there. That is some good copper. So research. I do want to try to get like all the non-infinite research out of the way. So if there's stuff we can do, preferably not military right now, since that's what's putting us behind. But actually, all we have left is military. We do have some more mining prods, which we can do. The other stuff does seem to be keeping up fairly decently. And you guys also had some comments about the steel setup, which I want to look at when we get back. Alright. And with this rocket fuel, we can actually even more effectively run over these bases. Oh, and that was them dying. Because we have this acceleration and speed going for us. Now, I actually need some ammo in here, which I've neglected to do. So that's great. And the bots. These poor bots, man. I really wish you could access your inventory. Yeah, this does like nothing. Damn it, all the hell. There we go. Get wrecked. I think I lost a couple, but did I lose bots on that? Maybe not. So they are trying to repair me in the process. That can be, a little bit annoying. You may want to disable your bots or something. But I mean, we're just absolutely demolishing these bases. And most things are actually big biters now, but I mean, as you can see, they just perish under this uranium ammo. And we don't even have that many upgrades. Like, we only have level 4, or actually we only have level 3, and this is an infinite research as well. So you can imagine you could get this up to definitely probably be more powerful than a laser turret depending on the research. Wow. Wow, is this 3 in a... Wow, holy crap. This is like, okay, this is just asking for some mega manufacturing here. Holy hell, guys. This is ridiculous. I revealed out the map initially to see resources, and I do not recall these being here. Like, wow, I really don't recall those being there. I want to look at that richness after we kill these guys. Now, we are taking quite a fair bit of damage, mostly from these worm jerks. Oh my god. 18 mil, 48 million. Okay, it's combining this one. And another 15, and another 33 million. Man, that is just like, I don't really plan on doing on-site stuff, but it's almost tempting. Because, wow. Like, that is just begging for some gargantuan production of steel or gears or something like that. That is ridiculous, this iron here. You have to ramp up our production to actually use it. Oh, these are big worms. They're gonna be a little bit ouchy. That's a lot of worms in general. Yeah, I think we lost the bot. You can just see the circle of bodies. I love it. Wow. Yeah, we did lose the bot. Oh well. I am super happy about that iron. Jeez. And this copper, it's like it's everything you need here, except stone. Like, could we have just spawned here? That would have been cool. So I'm going to start heading back. We'll take out any bases that we happen to run across. Now, again, running over the bases can be effective. Do keep in mind, though, that it does quite a large amount of damage to the tank to run over the bases. Stop. Alright. There's a bit up here I'd like to just explore this little tip. And then we'll go see what we can do about the steel. Someone had mentioned that I had not made the whole thing red belt. I thought I did, but it's entirely possible I forgot or just didn't notice or something. And this may actually end up poorly. I do try to target the spawners because obviously they'll keep spawning units here, so killing them first will kind of help bring down the amount of guys there. Okay, well that was pretty decent exploration. There's still not much room to actually like build the Megabase over here just because there's actually so many resources. You know, and I don't want to build on top of them. And since this is not going to be like a robot-based towns style type of thing where it's like segregated little towns building stuff, it's just gonna be, you know, one big belt base. We actually need like a pretty large area to do that. Wow, this, you can see the efficiency of this too. That's the original 9 I'd put in there, and we just now burnt through it. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but in multiplayer, you can actually now have, in 0.16, have 2 people in a tank, have a driver and a passenger. This doesn't really do much for me in single player, obviously, but... okay, let's go ahead and make some more construction packs, and I'm gonna go ahead and stop so my dudes can repair? Or not? What are you doing, man? I have construction packs on me. Come on, bots. Don't be dumb. Wow. Fine, I'll just do it myself. Can I not do it when it's in my hotbar? What? I don't get this robot's right here. Yeah, see, again, it's in the network. These guys from like halfway across the base are just like, all right, We're just gonna do it. It may take us 10 years. Alright, cool. Oh, and then one of mine decides to do it at the very end. I gotta love it. Alright, let's see here. How are we building these up? We have 7 now, which is not bad. How many did I put in here? 25. We probably don't need that. Like, we're really not going to use these much. It was mostly for demonstration. But let's go ahead and check the steel. So bricks are doing okay. Half of it's out of stone due to the draw being more from one side of the belt. Steel's actually entirely backed up. This is entirely stopped, actually. I need to go see what's wrong with it. Okay, so we actually didn't make this red belt. Well, the reason for not making this red belt is because you can't support it. Like, we have 2 red belts coming in, right? But then we're splitting it to 2 yellow belts. Making this red belt wouldn't do anything because you can't get 2 red belts from 1 red belt. I mean, it would add some speed, I guess. Maybe throw some stuff down here quicker. Which, you know, we could do. I can't actually see anything, but... so, I mean, that's an option. We have those extra belts. We could just feed even more red belt into here if you guys really wanted. I do need to go see what's holding up that science, though. Alright, yeah, because this thing's like totally stopped. What would be out of? Steel's good. Red circuits are backed up. What could we possibly be out of? Circuits, why are we out of circuits? Did I cut a belt? I did cut a belt because I'm an idiot. Why would I have done that? When did this happen? You guys supposed to be paying attention, man. Well, that's what we're out of, is circuits for something. Probably green science is what it looks like. Indeed. Okay, well that's great. No inserters, which means no green science, which means no research. And this coal for these grenades is looking a little bit not great. Had we stopped sending? Oh, okay, because coming at it's after these get fueled, which is really what we would want. This belt should either be red belt or needs a lot more. Oh, is this not just not red belt the whole way? Oh, that's red belt up there. That's like not even. Ew, okay, well that's what we need to do. I see. That belt doesn't go anywhere anymore. Because this was what went to power. To make this easy, I'm really lazy. We're just going to underground this. And we're going to take... I don't think I have enough red belt for this. It's a bit unfortunate. I can pick up some red belt. So close. Alright, let's pick up some more. The solid fuel is also not needed over here. Alright, so this guy's just going to come down and he's just going to merge onto this belt. Which is full, so ideally then, that would go like that, and then this should create a full yellow belt, which should kind of help, because this is not full yellow belt. It will be now, which should help move things along a bit more. Let's tear all this up. Copper is not great. We're really not using much copper. However, it would probably be a wise decision to just add more now anyway, before we forget. Trying to get this research going so we can, you know, move on to the next step here. But me being dumb and cutting circuits, I really don't remember actually removing that belt. I know I reworked the belt farther down by steel, but I don't know why I would have cut that belt or how long it's been cut for either. Okay, so this guy can come down and we're just gonna do something like that. Whoop. Not you. And oil. How's oil doing? Are we okay on oil? We're doing great on oil. Fantastic. Thank you, bots. Okay, so this should be picking up. This guy's cranking out inserters. Top speed here. It's actually really quick. In fact, he's actually missing these 2 inserters. There we go. Because it takes 2 iron. So now this should actually be going pretty much constantly, which should catch this up and finish that out. And then at that point, military should almost be caught up. These are not, and it's low on drills, which would have been the circuits as well. So that's not very surprising. And that guy's good. Iron is good. Just kind of inspect things. It is good to kind of inspect your base once in a while. Just make sure everything's working how you intended it to. These guys, I'm going to bump this up because we do need to start building up beacons. It's going to need a lot of resources, but whatever. So do that. We can actually just let's just bump this up as well, start building up more of these. We will need productivity modules, so after it hits this 150, we will want to start building up prod modules. We only have, do we have any? I don't even see, we have 35 level 3s. We need quite a bit more than that to kind of proceed to the next stage here. So that's done. I'm gonna give research a minute to catch up. And that should be pretty good. We're at 20 minutes. Let's see here. Most of this is going well. We haven't needed the second gear thing yet. Kind of because I haven't expanded. What we could do, as long as I do this properly, well, this is going to have some issues doing that, but I was going to say we could expand out science, but really, not really. I've kind of blocked myself in. I told myself not to block myself in, and I did it anyway. The robot frames. Let's finish upgrading these. Oh, I only did like half the science to yellow assemblers. Power-wise, we're doing decent. Helps a lot when research isn't on. Let's just grab like 50, 75 or so. Gonna need quite a few. Start putting a bit more demand on the base. Cranking out those science packs. Green science is going full blast, so that, yeah, we're doing 140 a minute, which, you know, is a bit more than we initially built for, but that's because we are doing level 3 assemblers, which are faster than a craft speed of 1. That's not part of that. There's that. I want to make sure I'm getting all the subsequent parts here. Perfect, and then that seems to be about everything. Fantastic. Okay, oh, didn't get these guys. Whoopsies. Oh, one thing we could cover here that I think is good is a little bit more with trains. Hopefully you guys are still around. I know some people leave near the end of the video, but if you did, then you miss out on this. Someone in another one of my videos, I don't even think it was a series, maybe it was, had asked about like loading, having a train only load like X amount of stuff. So like having only 500 iron and 500 copper be put in one wagon. And also, why do we have no iron? Speaking of iron, what's the deal here? But yeah, so there's several ways you can do it. Okay, it was actually on my robot tutorial. There's several ways you can do this. First off, if you did not know, that is not a cargo wagon. Just when I picked it up. You can filter slots in a cargo wagon, same way as you can your hotbar. So you can filter it. So one way to limit something if you want is if you want a wagon to be like half copper, half iron, you can just filter half iron, half copper, or if you want just a few stacks, do that. But then you will need to make sure to filter the rest of it to something else. Otherwise, the rest will just fill up with iron and copper anyway. This essentially just locks it so nothing else can go in these slots. But in addition to that, what I wanted to cover is you can do some cool stuff with the circuit network. We'll go into this more later, but if you go to a train stop, there's the logistics network, which you can read off of too, but you can read the circuit network from the train, as I'm now trying to remember how to actually do this. I haven't done this in a while. There we go. So you connect a wire to it, and you now have this option to enable, disable, send train, sends the contents of the circuit network to the train, so they can be used for wait conditions, read train contents, reads the contents of the train that's currently stopped at train stop and sends them to the circuit network, or read stop train when a train is stopped, the train stop, the signal is sent with a unique number for that train. But what I want to cover is for like limiting amounts that go into a train. If you don't want to do the filter, what you can do is you could retrain contents, and then you could wire this up. So we've wired it to a pole. You could do just like we have for the inserters. What did we do that on? It was inserters on, like on here, right? How we made the inserter stop after a certain amount. You can do the same thing here, is we could limit this and tell him, now this is unloading of course, but we could say that you can unload if iron is more than 500, right? Because he's reading the contents. Iron's obviously more than 500. But if we go ahead and take some of this out, let me take another stack or so out. He's going to drop down here shortly, and at 500 he should stop, theoretically, or not. If iron is more than 500. I may have done this incorrectly, but you can do it. I know for a fact you can do it. If iron is more than 500, and it should be reading this train stop condition. Maybe it needs... I don't know, guys. This will be kind of a reverse tutorial. Let me know what I did wrong, because I've done this before, and I know you can do it this way. I'm not entirely sure what I've actually done wrong here. But you are able to do that, because that's what this does. So this reads the contents of the train that is stopped. Oh, right. I'm an idiot. I'm just stupid. See, this is what I mean. This is why I didn't build stuff. I can't think today. This is the whole train, not this wagon. You derp. Yeah, so this is the whole train. So that condition was based off the whole train. Obviously, the whole train's way more than 500 right now. So that's why it was still working. Because you can see here, if we hover the power pole, it's 1.9K. But that would have worked. Oh, geez. Okay, I apologize for that. Again, this is why I decided not to build stuff. But so if we do here, if it's more than, say, 2,000, you can see he's now stopped because it's less than 2,000. So yeah, this reads the entire train. I don't believe you can do it on a per wagon basis. So if you want to do that, you probably will want to filter, as I demonstrated a few minutes ago. But if you want to just do stuff off of a whole train contents, this is what you can do. So you can do it reverse, like load. It can work until, like if there's less than 500 in the whole train or something. Or if you want it evenly divided, you could filter and then tell it, take the wagons. So if, take like 1,000 divided by 4 or whatever. So there's many different ways you can do it. Some really cool stuff you can do with this. But I think that's going to be it for now, guys, as I'm clearly messing up a lot. I am very tired and my brain is on overload right now. So as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Apologize for my mix-up, but I did finally get it. And leave any thoughts, comments, questions you have down below. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.